Welcome to Denmark Real. I am Amar Ahmed. With me today is Carlos Acosta. Welcome to you, Carlos.
Hola, Amar. I'm so happy to be with you here in Denmark Real. It's my honor. Thank you.
Me too. You have a background in computer systems engineering, right?
Yes, at your service.
Yes.
I studied the career of computer system engineer here in Mexico. So I specialize also in Apple computers. I've been working on that for 30 years.
You are Dr. Mac, as I read.
Exactly. That's the name of my business. Exactly.
But you also work with graphic design, multimedia, internet. You have also been working in the radio station, right? And also still continue working in there.
Yes, I'm in love with audio. I love audio. And because of that, I'm in love with music and broadcasting and podcasting. So I have the radio station, a new radio station called KWDS. That means Knowledge and Wisdom Digital Signal. And it's about, transmitting knowledge and wisdom. So I'm starting that project, and I have very good programs and very interesting programs there, including yours, Denmark Real. So it's my honor to have you. And of course, I have my podcast. It's called One Day Less. It means about our passing through this life and how we are, we need to seize every day and to take care of each day, because each day that goes by is one less day in our lives. So that's the point.
It is.
Yes.
It is. And I'm really honored. So welcome to you. And tell me more about the situation in Mexico. I read an article about that everywhere in the world they are cheering up the nurses and doctors and except Mexico. Mexico, they were against or something like that. Could you fill me up in that area? What is happening in Mexico?
This country, we call it a very mystical Mexico, because sometimes we believe things that are not true. Like, for example, we worship death. You know that. Like, remember the movie Coco? The movie from Pixar, Coco? It's a movie about the death, about how we worship the death. And, we're very, very mystical about that. So now, in a negative way, some people are feeling that if you have doctors and nurses near you, you can be, they can transmit you the virus. So, this is something that sometimes I can say the ignorance of the people, it's sometimes very big in these issues. And not all Mexico, let me tell you that, but a lot of people that doesn't have a lot of information, doesn't have a lot of culture about this and how the doctors are helping and the nurses are helping, they are precisely, like trying to procrastinate all these people, good people, and they don't want them near them. For example, taxis doesn't pick up these people, or buses, or any other kind of transport. But it's not general in the country. This is a big country. We're 130 million, 125 million, something like that. So it's in some places in Mexico that this has happened. But I believe this will improve, because that's not to be, we don't need to be afraid of that. They are the ones that are helping us to be better, to have a better safety and health measures to combat this virus, this deadly virus. So I believe this is happening, this is real. But at the same time, we, the same people in Mexico, are trying to teach these ignorant persons that those are not the enemies. The enemies is the virus itself, the virus itself. So that's the problem. But yeah, I believe we are progressing on that. I really believe.
I hope so, because it's a problem.
Yes.
Maybe it is that phrase that says, "Those who can heal you can make you ill," or something like that.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's crazy. It's crazy when you are fighting those who can help you. The only one that could help you actually against such a virus, because hopefully we get through
Yes.
through this, because it's a big problem. It is. And,
Yes, it is a big problem.
And nobody knows the truth, actually. Or I assume that nobody knows the real truth, not many people, because there is so many opinions, there is so much data. The US says something, and China says something else, and Europe says something third. And right now we have a lockdown in Denmark also. But slowly we are opening Denmark again. So this is situation from here also.
Okay.
I hope that
you
are doing well.
Yes, thank you. Let me tell you something about that. After reading 300,000 stories about the coronavirus, very different between them, I can testify the same you're saying, because we have not only a pandemic situation, but an infodemic situation, right? Infodemic means that we don't know the truth. You know, of course, I have in the family, and of course, friends that are doctors, you know, that they can give you a perfect situation, or the most perfect possible about the situation. And this is good because you don't have to believe everything you read in the news. And this is, you know, overwhelming. And if in Denmark, that is first world, this happens, now you can imagine in the third world countries like Mexico, it's also happening, and in a big way. So we need to be aware of that also, not to be afraid of everything. That's why it happened with the doctors and the nurses, this situation, that they were, procrastinated by the people. But I believe with every day we are getting better at the information, because I don't know about you, but I don't read to date. I don't read everything now. I only read some important sources and some important people that have an opinion about this, and only them, because it's so overwhelming to read everything from every source of information, newspapers or cable news or something. It's too much. It's impossible to believe everything. So I concur with you. You know.
Because I'm actually fed up right now with all this information. There is so much out there, and it's really difficult for the ordinary people to know where the truth is and where it lies, because everybody's writing articles, and everybody's like Bill Gates is pushing his vaccines, and some are with Bill Gates, some are against. Some says that it's really stupid to go against vaccines, because look at the data from all the viruses and the diseases that have been cured by those vaccines. And honestly, I don't know where the truth is, and hopefully we will pass through this crisis fast, because it's shutting, and it is creating an economically disaster, and it is.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, here in Mexico, I don't know if in Denmark, but a lot of people here pay paycheck, and they are not working. The government is helping, but the help is like every time this happens, is not coming very fast to them. So a lot of small businesses are, in bankruptcy. So therefore, their employees don't have any kind of income, and then the government tries to help them, but the help is getting very slow to the people. So of course, this is a big situation, a big problem. Money is not moving. So if money is not moving, the economy is not moving. So this problem is very important here in Mexico. I don't know if in Denmark how this is going. I believe because it's a first world country, maybe it's better. Maybe it's because it's a smaller country than Mexico. I don't know, but here we believe that we can resist maybe 1 month more, 1.5 months more, and then I am a very positive person, but at the same time, we believe there will be chaos. Really, and a very important situation in 1.5 months from now. So something has to be done. We don't know what, but something has to be done. Maybe the government can bail us out, everyone. Maybe they can't. We don't know, but something has to come on first before this situation happens. So we're expecting something. We're really expecting something good to happen.
And I hope soon we can get back to work. Like I said, in Denmark, we are opening up slowly. I will be working tomorrow in our barbershop. So this is something positive. But they also agreed on the if the situation doesn't change or it gets worse, that we have to lock down again. So we will see what will happen in the upcoming weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, it is promising.
That's good.
They say it's promising.
Okay, that's good because you're working. You will be working, and that's what we need here. I work. I am an independent worker. I work for myself, so I depend on my clients. If my clients say, "Well, we don't have any work because of this contingency, so wait, please," and if you wait, we don't pay you, of course, and that's something very worrisome, and a lot of people are in my situation. And of course, you can have savings, you can have loans from the bank. Those are solutions, but for how long? And a lot of people say, well, if I don't work, I will die because I'm starving. And if I work, I will die because of the virus. So anyway, I will die. So they are making this proposition to the government and to everyone, because anyway they are in a terrible situation and a very difficult situation. So of course it's better to stay safe at home and wait for the best in the near future. But they don't have any money. They don't have the money to buy the food, and this is some problem. And again, we don't know what's going to happen in the next weeks or month and a half or 2 months, and we are waiting for something good to happen because of this stay-at-home campaign. Maybe the virus will go away, and hopefully this will happen, but we don't know.
Yeah, hopefully soon it's over, because
yes,
the quarantine mindset of staying home is not fun. It is not.
No.
It is like losing your job and you just staying home. Like life becomes meaningless, and it's difficult to get back again. I experienced a really big change from the day they said to us, you can go back to work, and that's actually last Friday. And I became a lot more energetic, and I became a lot more happy. So it had a big effect on me, and I can say that. Carlos, the best moment of your life, I know that you have experienced a car crash, an accident with a car, right?
Yes, it happened 12 years ago in 2008, January 3rd of 2008. I can remember the date very clearly. And that day changed my life, Amar. And it changed because I was very near from dying. It was a very serious car accident. I was the co-pilot. I wasn't driving. Another person that was driving fell asleep at the wheel. So we got out of the road. Thank God we didn't crash with other cars or people. I don't know what do we crash into. I don't remember the accident. But 10 days later, I woke up after being in an intensive care unit or a coma. I woke up and asked, what happened? What am I doing here? And the people around me told me, doctors and even family told me, well, you had a very serious car accident, and thank God you're here. So it's I don't remember anything about the accident, not the
but
pain.
How was your life before? How was your life before and after? How do you perceive life?
Okay, I had a very good life all my life, but before I have managing a divorce. Before the accident, I have 1 year separated from my family, from my kids especially. I had two kids, one son and one daughter. So that was very hard for me a year before the accident. It was a very difficult time for me because I was very depressed because of the situation. And then the accident came. So after the accident, I was really thankful that I was kept alive by God, by the doctors, by heaven. You can name it. Every one of us have a belief in that. I believe it was God that told me, you can stay here for a longer time. You can have your life continued. And of course, this was a very big message for me that, when this happens in your life, well, it was my case, you start to believe that everything else is not as important as life itself, because life is a gift. And you live this gift with his ups and downs and every problem you have in life. But life itself is something you have to really be thankful about. And after the accident, I was in a big trouble because of economic and health issues. But at the same time, I had the time to be thankful with life and to believe that this was good for me, because now the really important things in life mattered more to me, were more important to me. And of course, I believe this changed me a lot because, we take life for granted. Sometimes we're not very conscious about life. But when you say, doctors told me you were this close, a millimeter or something like that of dying. And you can thank anyone you want. So the doctors told me, God, the doctors, the emergency people, your family that helped, everything. But anyway, you were left here by a miracle, because it was a miracle that you stayed here with all the problems you had because of the accidents, all the, the collateral damages of the accident. So of course that makes you think a lot. To date, I have still physical sequels of the accident. I have my left hand. I can move that I can use it very much, my left hand, and also my right foot. I had a surgery there. They removed my spleen. What was killing me was that I had a lot of blood in my lungs. I had a pneumonia. So, after all this, I am standing up, I am working, I am fine in general. And of course, this makes me very happy. I don't know if I could answer the question with all of this.
Life is precious. It is by itself.
Yes.
It is. I'm happy. I'm grateful that you still are here. And
thank you.
But this gives us an idea about all the things we are right now afraid of losing. We are afraid of losing our house, our car, our job, our way of living, the standard we have, and the standard we try to keep. And when all these is gone, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because all this technology we are so possessed of having and so possessed of keeping. We try to keep everything around us at the same level. But the truth is, like you said, it is life itself that is precious, because you can always build everything up again. Like you were 41 when you started again, right?
Yes, I had the accident when I was 41 years old. And of course, I lost my business because I had to pay the bills, the medical bills. I lost my business. I had to start over from almost zero, Amar. After, I started working at 21, so 20 years of work gone by the drain, because you have to pay bills and you have to start over again. I'm sorry. And this affects your family. Of course, my kids were very affected because of this, not only by the accident itself, seeing their dad, laying in bed for a lot of time, but I'm not able to be a provider for them, but also the economical consequences. And of course, I receive a lot of help from the family and loans, and trying to start over again. And this is very hard, and it affects like your ego, like your the grandiose things you have about being a provider, about I can deal with everything, and you have a mentality that everything is possible. But again, life is not that life humiliates you, but life puts you in your place sometimes to remember who you are. And that happened to me. It was a very I was humble because of this, and helped me to be a better person, helped me to work better, to have, the time was very, of course, very valuable for me now, because I knew I was living extra time for the rest of my life. It was extra time. So you start over again with everything. I had to be in a wheelchair for about 3 months, and then start walking again, driving again, working again, with all my physical limitations. And it's a new learning. A lot of people told me, for example, my left hand, I can move my left hand a lot. It has like a 30% movement of a healthy hand. So everybody said, well, good luck is the left hand, but I'm lefty. That's the problem. Well, I'm ambidexter, but I use the left hand for writing, for a lot of things. Of course, an ambidexter does that. So I had to start learning again to do all the things with my right hand, the other hand. So, it's something that impacts your life. And you say, well, I'm going to do it because I need to. I need to do this for the sake of my good health, not only physical, but your mind, that you can do things even though you have these sequels. So this was, of course, a humble lesson for me, that you believe that your life is going to be the same forever, because I had a good life before, Amar. I don't smoke, I don't drink. I'm a very healthy person. I do sports. I love tennis. I still play tennis, thank God. So this is was a good lesson for me, to be here standing up and trying to accomplish things every day. Every kind of thing: work, family, sports, health. It's something that is every day is like a miracle for me. I don't have to say it every day, because maybe it's boring for everyone, but I believe that in myself. Every day I'm thankful with God and with life, because I'm here. And whatever happened with money, well, it happened. I lost a lot. I had a very good life, so I had to restart. And to date, I don't have the level of economy that I had when I suffered the accident. But I'm doing well. And my kids, thank God, are doing well. And I'm with my wife, my beautiful wife, and we're very happy. And, if I die, I don't have anything of this. So why don't be thankful? Of course, I'm thankful.
So therefore, the podcast, One Day Less.
Okay, that's because of all these situations I live. One day less today, at the end of the day, it will be one day less in our lives. What did we do with this day? For example, I feel very grateful and honored that I am in your show today. The day now has a big plus this day, because of this. So I every day I try to be very positive about the things I did that day. And if not, of course, we have very bad days. we sometimes we don't know how the day is going to be. We have, like every human being, very bad days. But somehow it's very important to be conscious about this and trying to be better the next day, or try to be at least conscious that we need to have good life, because we have all the tools to make this possible. And we forget that because of we're very, not conscious about living life. So we believe everything is for granted, and it's not. So One Day Less podcast is about interviewing people and asking them questions about their lives and how do they really believe they can improve the lives of others by teaching them in the podcast how to be better about their experiences in life, what happened with them in their worst times, and how they overcome this. Because of course, the people I interview are exemplary people that can give you a lesson about life. So that's the purpose and the mission of the podcast I am conducting right now.
I'm honored to have you here on the show, really, and that you gave us your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Especially in these times also, because it is not everybody that can have a clear mind to have an interview. Like we are sitting actually here, and you are in Mexico. We are in Denmark, so the guest is not in the chair. It's totally different setup. But this gives opportunities. This gives opportunities. If we cannot get the guest into the chair, then we have to figure out another way. And this is the limitations makes us see different things, and it's good. I think it's good to see people connecting more, staying home, and finding another way to connect, because the social medias are being used a lot more right now to connect people. So this is the good aspect of it.
Yes, and let me tell you something that I believe you also have. It's called, well, I call it inner life. You have inner life. I'm sure of that, Anna. And inner life means that you have a whole world inside of you, where you can be, even in these times of contingency, and that you can leave the house only for the necessary things. But anyway, you have a lot of time spent physically at home. And if so a lot of people want to be stimulated by external things like television, radio, or I don't know, other people. But if you have inner life, you can be with yourself and cherish that experience. You can be inside of you and maybe remember the good times, the bad times, be philosophical about it, be, practical about it. That's no problem. But you have that time now that we are living in these times of the coronavirus to have time with yourself. And I enjoy that very much because, again, I am very conscious about my life. And this because of what happened in the past, my accident, and, restarting my life again and things like that. Of course, I don't wish anyone an accident like the one I have. I don't want them to pass through this. It's very, it's a trauma. It's very hard. It hurts a lot in every way, in every possible way. But again, it's a reflection for your audience, for the people that we need to have inner life. And in inner life, I also remember Nelson Mandela, that when he was in prison, he talked about that a lot, that he was inside of himself doing a lot of things, that he wasn't thinking about the outside, that was the prison, for I believe 28 years. So he was inside when he was in prison, he was inside of himself, and that made him a better person. When he came out, that was very good that he came out. Of course, he was a very good person, a very wisdom person to show the people how to overcome problems like the ones he had. Prison for 28 years is not something very usual. It's something extraordinary. And of course, he was the president of South Africa and all of that. And I believe the inner life is what makes us better. So inner life is a gift you can have for yourself, and it's about thinking the good things in your life, thinking about the bad ones, giving a second thought about what you're doing and why you're doing that to date. What's your life about? What's the meaning? And that helps a lot in these times, I believe. That helps a lot.
Is it also about observing your thoughts, what's going on? Because it's a good time to reflect. It's a good time to observe who you are and why do you think that way, and try to restructure things in your mind, maybe.
Yes, of course. And let me tell you, I'm an engineer. I'm very analytical. I use analytics the whole time for my career, for my work. But I also have learned to use my analytical mind, or the way I think almost every day, also for my life, my inner life, and my spirituality. Because you can be analytical of that too, of course, in a good way. You don't have to destroy yourself with all the bad things you do every day. We do, we're not perfect. I have the same problems that all the people have in their lives, like every other human being. It's normal. I have very bad days. I have very good days. It's not that life is something like a rainbow every day, with flowers and birds singing. No. I have very dark days. To date, I have very dark days, very difficult days. But I can have a very good perspective from the inside of my heart and my mind because of the experiences I have. This helped me a lot to be very analytical and to help me precisely to solve them in my heart and in my mind, and to say, well, this is life. There's no problem with that. This is life. It's something that not that God wants me to have, for example, the accident. The accident was not sent by God or something like that, or by the devil. No, it's life. It's like the people that sadly are dying today because of the virus. God is not sending that to them. I don't believe. It's my humble opinion. It's just life. God gave us a world of freedom, total freedom, and good things and bad things happen in this freedom. It's total freedom. So we have to be aware of that, not to believe we are like, we have like something wrong in our lives because that was destiny. No, it's life. So I believe very humbly of my life like that. That's the feeling I have of my life, because the wonderful things I have had in my life, of course, are better than the worst things I have suffered. I can be happy because of that. And I know that the good things that I have in my life is because I tried them, because I was, I went for them. I was, giving all my effort to have these good things in my life. And of course, sometimes you get hurt, and well, that's life again.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of things that a lot of people that thinks it is a dance on roses. It's not. And if you just look outside of yourself, if you just look outside of humans, you can see actually everything is eaten by everything. And this is life. This is life.
Yes, this is life.
Things burn down and things grow up, and just like that, yeah.
Yes, that, you said it perfectly. I said it with a lot of words, but you said it in a phrase. Exactly. You go up, you go down. That's it.
You have to sleep before you can be awake.
Yes, exactly.
What is your future gonna look like? What do you see? How do you see yourself in the future? What are the goals for the future?
Well, let me tell you that I really am very happy right now with my wife, with my son and daughter, with my work. Of course, the coronavirus came, and we are, trembling with all of this. Hopefully, this will go away. We will beat the virus. We will destroy the virus, because we humans are very intelligent, and hopefully, a lot of humans are very merciful and have the ability to create the cure and the vaccine for this, and then we will be better. And if these times come, and I'm very sure they will come, I want my life to be even better, of course, to have more conscious about this. For example, my daughter is studying the career. She's going to be a lawyer, but she stopped because of the university closed. The university said, we have to wait for this to happen, to overpass. So now she's telling me that I believe this is some strange times for me. I never believed I had to live through this. She's worried, of course. She's very young, but she's very brightful. And she tells me, I believe that everything will be better after this crisis is turned away. And I believe the same, of course. And for this, we have the positiveness that in the future, near future, maybe at the end of this year, we will be better. Maybe not economically. We have to, again, to climb the ladder, the mountain. But as human beings, everybody here in Mexico and in the world will be better because we now know that we can't be invincible the whole time. We have to have compassion. We have to have, mercy for the other people, to help the other people. And again, to be very careful with our lives, not to destroy other lives just because. And well, returning to the points, this I want for me to have a better life than now. That is wonderful. And I want to terminate and that the project of the radio internet station will thrive, will be successful, and also my podcast and my principal work that is, being an Apple consultant was going very good, and with this, of course, is now stopped. And I want this to be better when I come back to action, to work again with the businesses and with my clients. In a personal note, I want to play better tennis. Tennis is, a passion I have since I was 10 years old. It's not that I want to, be, to brag about it, but I play very good tennis. And when the accident happened, I stopped playing tennis. Then I returned. I was playing tennis before the virus. So I want to win a tournament. I want to win a tournament. Of course, an amateur local club tournament, but I want to win a tournament. It's a very grateful thing to have your trophy. And of course, this will be a very big physical effort for me because of my physical limits I have. But I believe I can do that. And, in general, to be a better person. I can. I know I can. So I don't know if that answered the question for you.
It does. So would that be a good life for you? Would you say that this is the good life? So if I ask you, what is a good life? Yes,
this is a good life. Yes, it is, because, my wife is a wonderful woman. And, I found what I was looking for so many years. And, we together are very powerful, but not power like a lot of people think. But I believe the power in love and in comprehension and in understanding, and to be better makes us better with other people, with the people around us, and we are complementing great to each other, and that helps me, believe me, a lot. It's something that I really cherish every day. I'm not perfect. She knows that, but he helps me a lot. He really helps me a lot.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
Thank you. I really thank God. I really thank God for this, because it was after nearing death. It was, like a gift from heaven to have this in my life. So what can I say?
Sounds so great. Really. Sounds beautiful.
Thank you. It is.
So what have you learned that the last 2 years that have excited you the most?
Well, the last 2 years, it's a consolidation of the things I was doing since 5 years ago, when I was started to be together with my wife. That started a new mature stage in my life. I reached another goal that was to be, very stable in my life, very happy every day. Of course, the problems came every day, but if you are mature enough to deal with them, the solutions are better. Not only for me and my wife, but for my two kids, for my two sons, and in general, for overcoming every obstacle in life. So I believe in the last 2 years, I learned that being stable is great. You have the purpose always in life to be stable, in a big way, in a big level, not in a low level, but the stabilization of your life means that that you're happy, that you're working, that you're serving your kids, that you're giving them love, that you're giving your wife love, that you're receiving the love from them. And this is something that you're, again, grateful every day. So I believe that happened in the last 2 years. The projects in work, the project of the radio station and of the podcast also have given me a new happiness, because this is something I wanted to do from a long time ago. I didn't know how. And now with these new learnings, I feel that the future is very bright in these new projects. I want to dedicate a lot of time and work and investment of time and money, of course, to this. And maybe this would be something very good, very new, and very good for my life and for my general happiness. Not only money, but being really, complete. So that is what has happened in general in the last 2 years.
Also, it gives us the opportunity to talk with a lot of people, meet a lot of people. And this podcast form is different. It's really different. I was reflecting on it, and I thought about it a lot. It is not censored yet. Well, they are trying to censor some of it on YouTube and Facebook and those platforms, LinkedIn also, actually. But it is not. There is not so much censorship and control over podcasts yet. And this is good. This is the format that allows us to speak for a longer time, have conversations longer, and gives us opportunity to meet many people.
No, it's paradise, Amar. As you say, it's paradise, because we don't have censorship, and you can talk as long as you want. We have the technology, we know how to do it, and I believe we're thriving because we imagine this, and now we have the knowledge to do this, and we are performing. So hopefully we will perform better every month, every year. Again, I want to congratulate you for Denmark Real. It's something very serious and professional. You're a great interviewer. Let me congratulate you again. This is great. I'm very happy to be here. No, it's mine. Believe me, it's mine. Thank you.
Thank you. What makes you smile?
Oh, do you have like 3 hours? No, I'm going to make the most important things. My family, that is my wife and my kids. Also, I still have my mother with me. She's 80. We're going to have a big party in March, and because of the virus, we didn't have the party. She was very sad because of this. We were going to be there with all the family, but nothing happened. We have to wait. But in the future, we will have this 80-year-old party for her. So family is first. Then waking up every day and knowing that I am alive. I'm still here. 12 years after the accident makes me smile. Maybe not, in the mirror, maybe internally, but I really smile. Playing tennis makes me smile, because I thought after the accident, I thought I will never play tennis again. So thankfully I'm playing very good tennis. The tennis friends I have tell me this: you play like you don't have any sequels, physical sequels. So that's very good. It makes me smile that my father that died 6 years ago, I really believe in the afterlife. I'm a Catholic. I believe in heaven. Maybe not the Hollywood heaven that we all see, but another kind of heaven. Maybe, of course, bigger. And I believe he's there. He's watching, and not maybe every moment of my life, but I believe he's happy with me because, of course, a father is happy when his son is happy. So I am, and I hopefully he is too. Of course, every work that I do and that it's accomplished, and I can perceive, gains because of this, maybe money, maybe recommendations that I'm growing. It makes me smile a lot because it means that I'm useful to other people in what I do. I can do the best I can. That is my specialization in Apple products. I really love the Steve Jobs mantra and all related to that because of thinking different, about being different, and making computers a part of not only technology but humans and art, and not only the technological part. So again, this makes me very happy. In general, I believe that's the answer to the question. Not the 3-hour answer, but the 3-minute answer.
Thank you. So I ask a question I will ask you too. I ask it every time. So if I were a genie, what would you wish for?
One wish? Only one wish?
You can wish as much as you want,
well,
if that is possible.
First one, to have, I don't ask for much, but please, if the accident was going to happen, just give me my left hand back, because I still miss my left hand and the movement of my right foot. That's one wish. The other is, to see my kids graduate from university and to see them work very hard and thrive, because they are very intelligent persons. They have been through a lot because of the divorce and the accident and everything that happens in those situations. It's a very big details that I will not mention now because it's very long. But again, they are survivors. They are very strong, and I wanted to thrive in their lives. And of course, not only in work, but that they are very happy inside, like I feel right now. That inner life, please give them that inner life, so they are very conscious about life. And that's it. Maybe money, but I don't think that's necessary for happiness.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
More money, more things to think about, more things to worry about.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, no. A lot of problems with money, I believe.
There is, yeah. There could be.
Yes. Unless you're very generous and you give a lot of money, you receive a lot of money, but you give a lot of money, then that's a happy life. I believe that's a happy life. Not, stuck in things all around you and, being very rich, but at the same time, very, 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 selfish. And that's not a very good life. You live by the example, and giving that example to your kids and to your family is not good. So better, if I would love to be very rich, but to give that to people, to charities. I believe my wife and me and I will learn how to give and how much to give. If we were rich, that will be the mission. Because of course we believe in giving. We believe in that.
Yeah. I think that is beautiful too. And we believe in giving too.
Yes, I know.
How can people reach out to you? How can people find you?
Well, one way, the work way, it's in the web page, is drmac, like Dr. Mac, but abbreviated, drmac.com.mx. And I can give services to anyone in the world because of the technology. I can connect to their Macs remotely. So that's one way. The other way is through the podcasts. The podcast is in iTunes, or now called Apple Podcast. It's not iTunes anymore. It's now Apple Podcast, and also Spotify. And the name of the podcast is One Day Less by Carlos Acosta. So that's another way. And of course, I can receive their messages there. And the other one, of course, is my mail. My mail is dirección, that means direction in Spanish, dirección@drmac.com.mx. I believe that's the best ways to be in touch with me. And thank you for sharing that with your audience, with your kind audience. Thank you.
Carlos, thank you for giving us your time. And I wish you the best with your projects and with your podcast. And hopefully we see you again in another episode.
Of course, you can count on that, Amar. I'm thankful. I'm honored. Believe me, it's it's something I really cherish today, is to have you here with me talking a lot about life for 1 hour. That's great, and we'll be in touch in the future. Hopefully, I can be your guest again. And please note this: you will be mine in One Day Less very soon, in the One Day Less podcast very soon. Hopefully you can, and we'll be in touch. And again, thank you for this time and for your kind audience. That is a lot, I know, to express my feelings and to be here. It's really an honor. Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias.